Hey guys, how you doing? It's Brad with atrepodcast.com, all things real estate. I am excited about my next guest. Her name is Dana Hampton. She is a realtor in Nevada. Now, Dana is a native Nevadan who grew up watching her town go through major construction and reinvention. Having raised her family, she is now doubling down on herself and her career in real estate. The market has changed a lot since she was licensed in 2005, and Dana takes great pride in keeping up with the changes and learning new things. She recently added property management to her designations, and her next designation will focus in military relocation to expand her desire to give back to the first responders and military. Her clients agree that her love of real estate, patience, and knowledge throughout the transaction is what makes her clients, or is what makes Dana her client's first choice. Welcome, Dana. Thanks for being here. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Brad. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. I've done, so I've only met Dana, I guess maybe on the phone, right? A couple times.
Yeah.
I grew up with your sister-in-law,
Yes.
with TJ, who's wonderful and we love. And she had referred me to Dana. So Dana had referred a client to me and it worked out really well. That was, I think 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think it's about 3 years now.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. Dana is a very similar agent to me who puts her clients first. I'm really excited to have her on here and have all my listeners hear about how great of an agent Dana is over in Nevada. And if they ever need an agent, they got to make sure and call Dana, okay? So Dana, how's the market in Nevada? What part of Nevada do you specialize in?
The market here is popping. I am so busy. I live in Henderson. Our office is in Henderson. It's in a little Henderson town side right off of Water Street. So I would say probably 50-60% of my clients are Henderson based, but Nevada's still a small town, so I can literally get anywhere in 30 to 40 minutes. So I do North Las Vegas, Summerlin, I do it all.
That's wonderful. Yeah. And I'm very familiar with the Las Vegas area as well. So I know that when I want to buy some investment property in the next couple of years, you're going to be the one I go to over there.
I'm excited about that.
Where do you see the market headed in 2021 for Las Vegas?
You know, I feel like none of us knew that 2020 would be like this. With interest rates so crazy, I feel like COVID really took the 5-year plan away. And I have so many clients that are moving into Las Vegas, not wanting to wait for retirement. I have sellers that are leaving to go toward family because they just want to hunker down and be with their families. And so I really feel like it's going to keep going as long as the interest rate is like this. I feel like we're going to just keep going.
How do you feel, Dana, with Las Vegas? You guys, mainly from what I know, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's a lot of, hotel employment, entertainment industry employment. Do you feel that the forbearances will have an effect on whether or not people are able to even keep their homes? And if they can't, will that lead to a foreclosure market?
Well, sadly, we are seeing an influx in defaults. I'm on a default list every day. And I would say a couple months ago, there were hardly any names. And now it's definitely multiplying. But you know, sad, that being said, it's very sad. And that being said, there's also, the people that are still coming here that are working remotely, that, it's taught us that we can adapt and do things differently. So
that's a great point. And, hopefully the government having, I know so this is after the election, guys. So with Joe Biden taking over, he actually dealt with this before during the Obama administration in 2008. Hopefully that there's some experience there and he'll be able to help navigate, is what I'm hoping, some homeowners to actually save their homes.
Yeah, I hope so too.
So Dana, where do you get most of your clients from?
I'm fortunate enough that now most of my clients are referral based. I focus really strongly on my sphere of influence. I have systems in place where I keep in touch. I'm a handwritten note agent. I take it to the next level. My broker makes fun of me because I I have like a little wax seal, and
Yeah, that's
I
wonderful.
get totally into it. Yeah. So,
So I don't know what you do out there. So what I do, and I like to share this podcast for new agents or for agents that maybe are looking to step up. One of the things that I do too is my handwriting is horrible, but I have somebody that I hire to every single month send out handwritten birthday cards as
mhm.
well as anniversary cards. So if you're in my sphere of influence or my CRM and you bought a house, you don't even have to have bought the house from me. I'll have already looked it up and see when you bought your last home. I will send
Nice.
you an anniversary card saying, "Hey, congratulations, you bought your home on this date," and it
Hmm.
just it invokes conversation.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
I'm happy to hear you do that as well.
Yeah. I go to I mean, my broker has always said, if you meet somebody, if you meet a neighbor, they get a card that day. And
That's great,
it really does, it's tenfold. I mean, it comes back to you in spades.
Dana. What's an average morning for you?
I like to wake up crazy early. I am into fitness and
Good.
getting my mindset for the day. So I'll either take a bike ride, I'll do Pilates.
Yes,
I'm an office worker, so I like to get to the office around 8 or 9, get all
Mm.
my computer stuff done so that I'm freed up to go on appointments and showings later in the afternoon.
You know, I love Pilates.
I
I,
do
I,
too.
I, I had a spine issue where I had to have a major spine surgery, and the
Mm.
Pilates for me helped just save everything. And they've been shut down for about 3 months now, so it's been a bummer. I was going 3 or 4
Oh.
days a week, but like you, I do. I wake up in the morning. I like to get my exercise in, do something for my mental health, whether it's working
Mhm.
out, meditating, or playing
Mhm.
golf. Just something that says, "Hey, I'm here and I'm thinking about you, Brad,"
Yeah.
before I have to think about everybody else and get it going. But so that's
Mhm.
wonderful. I ask all top producers actually what they do first thing in the morning. And do you have a designated time that you actually spend to prospect? When
I
you,
do that mostly in the morning. I'll do my computer work. I'll do anything that I have to do from the computer there. And then I also will make calls on the way to appointments and
yeah,
just
good.
touch base. Yeah, just touch base as I'm going. And
Yeah, smart.
yeah,
You don't leave anything on the table. You don't have to go home and say, "I forgot to call this person back."
right, right.
I'm a big believer in that too. How did you pivot with COVID and the quarantine? I know for all of us, we didn't know what we were going to do, right? How did you
Right.
pivot?
It was a reset. It was a reset that I needed, that didn't know I needed, but I was definitely not doing work balance well. I was going too hard, and it
Yeah,
it really made me focus. That's actually when I got back to Pilates. That's when I made myself a priority because I had the time. Um, I knew that I could work remotely. It was just a nice reset, and
that's great.
yeah, that's basically it.
So let me ask you, if you could go back in time, jump in a little, back to the future, go back in time. Let's say, you look really young to me, so I don't know. Let's just say though, when you were to when you were 10 years old. Okay, if you could jump back in time to when you were 10 years old, what would older Dana tell younger Dana about what you wish you would have done more of, and maybe what to avoid?
Well, actually, I'm your age, so I appreciate
Oh,
that
you
compliment.
look wonderful.
Um, I'm TJ's age. In fact, she's a little bit younger than me, so
Well,
we
she is
or she's a little bit older than me, actually. So
she's yeah. So I'm TJ's age.
yeah, so I would tell myself to basically not be a secret agent.
Yeah,
I would my first broker would always tell us I was part of a franchise that wore gold blazers, and she would wear her gold blazer everywhere, or
yeah,
her name badge, and she would tell us, don't be a secret agent, tell people what you do. Well, as a younger agent, I was nervous, and it was
yeah.
like, what if I don't know their question, or what if I don't have the right answer? So
That's okay.
I would tell myself that I will bring value. My intention is 100%. And
Right.
if I don't know the answer, I've got a whole slew of people backing me that have combined experience, and then some. So
And what
that's
would
what I
you
would tell myself.
and what would you tell yourself to avoid? Maybe something that you did that you just wish you never did or didn't have to do so much of?
I would tell myself to have boundaries, to be honest.
Good.
This is a business. You're working for yourself, and it's easy to work 7 days a week and not
Yeah,
have any time for yourself. And
that's
that's
right.
something that I've learned fairly recently.
Good.
Is I need scheduled days off. I need to take a break for myself as well. It's not just about business.
Yeah. And you can have someone cover for you, so it's fine.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. It still
what,
goes on.
so those are, thank you for those answers. And you may have answered this a little already, but let's see if we can elaborate a little.
Okay.
So for a new agent, what advice could you give them? Maybe someone who's struggling, not quite sure if they're going to make it. Maybe if you even want to talk to a woman who is struggling in the business. I don't know if there's a difference that you've noticed being a woman in the way you're treated or not treated. I hope you're treated fairly and wonderfully. But what advice could you give to a new agent that's struggling and really not sure what to do?
I would tell them to not be afraid to go in and ask questions. Go to the office. So many people, because we can work remote, even before COVID, a lot of people will hide because they don't know what to ask. They don't think they have the right answers. And I would say go in and sit and listen. There's so many people that are transacting around you that you can just soak up what they're doing and just run it like a business. Don't be too lax when this is a very social business. Don't get caught taking everyone to lunch and forgetting to prospect.
That's right.
And don't get stuck in the traps of signing up for every little thing that comes our way. I've never paid for leads,
Good.
and
You don't
and
need to. If you're just
no,
prospecting and doing your job, you
yeah,
don't need to pay for leads.
yeah, and
So
that's a newbie mistake for
yes,
sure.
yeah, we've all did it. We all did it. I mean, I paid for
Hmm.
them when I first got into the business. We didn't even have uh, computers at that time, and
Hmm.
we were doing everything with index cards. And I remember signing up for a zip code lead generation off of the TV with about 10 other agents at my office, and we all got taken for it was almost 20,000.
Oh,
We all spent a couple thousand, and that's just the way it was. But we learned, right?
yeah, yeah,
So,
definitely.
Dana, what are you most proud of as an agent? What do you look at yourself and say, "Wow, I'm really proud of that."
You know, I would say I'm most proud of our office does little awards every year, and I'm
Mhm.
really not into accolades, but last few years I've swept the customer service or customer
Good.
satisfaction award. And that to me speaks volumes. I love this business. I love my clients, and to know that my intentions are being translated to them and they're speaking out on my behalf it means everything to me.
I couldn't agree more. I think that giving giving really good customer service and communicating with your clients is the key to survival in our business, and not only survival but succeeding. I tell new agents all the time, look, don't worry if you need to call your client and ask them for a price reduction, whatever it is. If you
Hmm.
just call them and talk to them and let them know that it's the broker community feels this way and that you're relaying it to them, they're going to respect you more for at least calling them and letting them know what's going on.
Definitely.
And I really can see why you're so successful, and
Mhm.
you're very polished and a really great agent. Dana, for my listeners, so this is a nationwide broadcast, and I know that especially during the harder times, a lot of people will come to Las Vegas and want to flip properties or buy properties and hold on to them and rent them out. For
Mhm.
my listeners who'd like to call you and they say, hey, I want her to be my realtor, or I want to refer people to her. I'm sure you have, like you did with me, you work on a referral fee. If
Mhm.
someone wanted to send a client to you or wanted to work with you directly, what's the best way to get a hold of you, Dana?
Phone, email. My phone number is 702-622-1733.
Okay.
My email is dana@danahampton.realtor, or my website, danahampton.com.
Excellent. And guys, I'm telling you, I've worked with Dana. She is fantastic. You can't go wrong with her. She will treat your clients like gold. And I really appreciate you being here. And remember, guys, if anyone's looking for coaching or you'd like to hear any more of my podcasts, you can either go on and listen to any of my podcasts on Apple iTunes or any of the major podcast systems, or you can go to watch this full interview on video on ATRE Podcast on YouTube, or go to atrepodcast.com and download my 5 free secrets on how to start making money today in real estate. 5 free secrets on how to start making money today in real estate. I look forward to you all. Thank you. Thanks, Dana.
Thanks, Brad.